The country's going to find out. Everything runs through Lubbock.
No, it doesn't. A 50-point win over the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and now the Longhorns head back to the DF Dub.
We're going to the ship, baby.
The Longhorns can win a ring before heading off to the SEC.
Fuck around, find out on three. 1, 2, 3. Fuck around, find out.
Meanwhile, the Aggies have narrowed down their coaching search. They're tripping in Norman. Let's ride.
And Coach, I'm not going to put any pressure on you, but I'm going to be in Austin for Thanksgiving, okay? And you better take care of business like you did right here in Lubbock last year. I'm not going to put any pressure on you. You better take care of business like you did right here in Lubbock last year.
Hey, man. The pettiness in Austin, Texas is at an all-time high, man. I love it.
Man, I've got to tell you something, Stevie. I thought, shout out to the content creators and those who were responsible for putting together all of the shade thrown at Texas Tech and Brett Yormark. That was well done, well planned. And it was just like, bye-bye.
Yep.
We got last word.
Well, let's get the last word next week. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But, man, remember I told you earlier this year when he did that, I said put me on his security detail and make it real hard for him to be in the stadium. And that's exactly – well, they didn't put me on a security detail, but it was real hard for him to be in that stadium with 38 seconds. And the game was still going on, and they played it, man. It wasn't even the end of the game yet. They played him eating his words while the game's still going on. So that means he was still there.
Yeah.
Texas Tech was still on the sideline. Their coaches saw this. Their players saw this. And they said, what coach said, F around and find out. And that's exactly what they did.
Oh, my God. It's beautiful, man. Episode 324 is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, do I look like I'm delayed? By any chance?
No,
okay.
not more than normal.
Well, hey, while you're here, we thank you for being here. And I know this is a holiday weekend. And if you're a Longhorn fan, this was a lot of fun for everybody involved. And if you're a college football fan, it was so much fun because the energy at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium was so much fun. So as you're watching this episode on a Monday at noon, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube page and follow our Facebook page and our social media platforms. There's so many of them. TikTok, of course, Facebook, Twitter /X, Instagram's a beautiful place. And you know what, Stevie? There's only one choice to have your roofs looked at, repaired, and it's from your hometown, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah, man. The Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
And you really do, man. Great family, man. And we got to get together with them for the holidays coming out because we need to learn more about how many roofs they've been on in Austin. And it's they've been on a lot.
No question.
So that was a lot of fun. But Sark even acknowledged back when Yormark made those remarks that – he was doing it for an audience, a Red Raider luncheon club, that it's strategic. It was done to rally the troops where he was located. And I don't know if he felt that way or not, but he's a new commissioner. He's done a lot for the Big 12 in a short period of time. He's made them relevant. But as far as the reaction from the Longhorns, they humor it. They're like, whoa, wow.
I don't know if they want me to tell y'all, but I'm gonna tell y'all. He played it during while we were lifting, so we was hearing that constantly on repeat while we were lifting.
We're trying to lift, and we're like, golly, I mean, just over and over again, ingrained in our minds. But I mean, it just that made us, dislike it even more.
It was just something to drive us and motivate us. And Coach Beckton, he's a crazy dude, but it kept us going and it kept us motivated.
So they put that on a loop in their train all throughout August and throughout the season. I bet they did it more, Coach Beckton, throughout this prior week leading up to that Texas Tech game.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. Coach Beckton is a crazy guy, man. He knows how to motivate his players, dude. And he had them right, man. They were fired up and ready to go. And I don't blame him, man. Coach Brown did the same thing to us for A&M week.
Yeah.
He piped in their fight song on a loop in our locker room the 2 weeks. We always had a bye week before the A&M game. And those 2 weeks, it was on a loop.
Was it really?
A continuous loop, and it never went off for 2 weeks. And that's why I never lost to A&M.
Because of that.
Because of that. It's just I know the whole song. Goodbye to Texas Universe. I know the whole song, man. Just because he played it on the loop and got us fighting mad. By the time it was time to play, we were just mad and upset for hearing that song for 2 whole weeks, man.
I'd get tired of that.
Yeah, we did.
I'd get tired of that real fast.
But that was great for Coach Beckton to put that in their head, get out there and get on fire. And because I mean, we talked about this, you and I, earlier in this season. That was bulletin board material. How he was just pandering to the room. But we used it, and we used it to our advantage. And 57-7, that shows it,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I loved how, Sark, and you saw it in the open video, and it looked like Jahdae Barron, who everybody loves, a great kid, great defensive back, even better human. It looked like him recording that video.
Yeah.
After the game where Sark said, let's all let them hear it. Everybody hear it. F around and find out on 3. 1, 2, 3. F around and find out.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the MO. I really feel like this team has a chip on their shoulder that they know wherever they walk in, they're hated.
Yeah.
You know what? F with us, you'll find out.
Yep. They feel the hate. The Texas aura, I feel like it's back. When you walk in the stadium, they want to knock your block off, but us motivating ourselves and coming together, that shows camaraderie to me too.
Yeah.
Man. Those videos, whenever they're dancing around in the locker room afterwards and having a good time with Shark and everything like that, I absolutely love that, because that means you got leaders on the team. You got brothers on the team, and y'all are having fun together, and it's just one big unit. It's just going to grow because these leaders are showing the lower classmen how to be leaders and winners, and then so forth and so on. And we just got to keep that going. I feel like we're going to be good for a long time if we just keep it on track. You know what I mean?
Leadership shows leadership and how to uphold that type of leadership.
And this is this coach's staff just 3rd year.
Yeah.
So, after, what was it, 5-7, and then 8-5, and then now 11-1. Come on, man. The sky's the limit. And, we have some dogs that are going to be leaving on defense this year, but we got some dogs just reloading right now, So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch for a long time.
It is. And that's, 57-7. I didn't expect that. But that number to the far right, man, 11 wins in a regular season. Obviously, that hasn't happened since 2009 when they went undefeated and played in the won the Big 12 championship, barely against Indomitian Sioux in Nebraska in the same building. Obviously Jerry World with Colt McCoy got that little half a second added back on the clock. But, I was there for that. That was the one game I got to go to as a fan because Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, when I was working up there, obviously they didn't go. And so I was like, I was married at the time. I told my wife, ex-wife at the time, I said, man, let's get a tailgate spot, get a hotel room, let's go. And we did. It's cold. But my point being is 11 wins was kind of common back in your day.
Yeah, we always had 9-10 win seasons. We didn't have as many games back then.
Right.
Yeah, so it was we were all like my senior year, we were 11-1 or 10-1, something like that. After beating Michigan in the Rose Bowl. So we didn't have as many games on the schedule back then, but it was always 1 or 2 losses, and rest are all wins. But we always took care of home field. That's another thing that I'm liking about this team is they're taking care of home. My whole tender when people talk about the good old days, I only lost 1 game in DKR Stadium, and that was against Arkansas.
In 03.
In 03, yeah, because we didn't know how fast Matt Jones was really was.
And he was tall.
Yeah, big, tall, and fast. So that was the only game we lost. And I really like how they're doing taking care of home field advantage for sure.
I do too. I don't know how to make a smooth segue to this, but it was hard to watch that injury early in the game. Defensive back for Texas Tech, Cameron Watts, strapped onto a gurney and carted off the field. Apparently, he cleared the initial test and he was able to go back with the team to Lubbock. So I just want to pass along that positive information. If you have not heard about it yet, went head to head. I think they ran into his 2 teammates, hard hit, and he was on the field for a long time. And that was nerve-wracking to watch because you never want to see it regardless of what team the individual's on. So good for Cameron. Great to see it. But Stevie, how do you encapsulate all this? Because I thought, to your point, that Texas took this personal. They knew they had to win to clinch a spot to play next week. But to do it the way they did, what did you learn about this team from 57-7? Now, Texas Tech isn't awful by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But they've heard all season, you can't put away teams. You get these big leads, and that's kind of been their reputation.
57-7 sounds like a perfect game, right? What I think that this team should get out of this is they still got work to do and they can be even better, right? We left points on the board in the red zone again.
That's true.
Yeah, we left points on the board in the red zone. And so I like that Shark is just like going ahead and kicking it now instead of going for it so many times on 4th down. Let's Bert Auburn is getting some leg time out there.
A career long,
really well.
5 of 5, career long, 54 yards.
Career long, 54, 5 of 5 in our stadium, man. I'm so glad for that kid. He's having a good time, and making some NIL money with Hargrove Roofing. So, so I like the way they performed and things like that, but there's still room for improvement. If we get into the college football playoffs, we got 3 more games. You know what I mean? And so we have the Big 12 championship game and possibly 2 more playoff games, but we're guaranteed 2 more games, So just keep improving and enjoy. They should enjoy that win. I mean, the regular season is over.
It's over.
Is over. So enjoy the regular season, your accomplishments through the regular season. We are 1 drive away from being undefeated, so enjoy that. What I learned from the team, though, is, if they get fired up and focused, they can do whatever they want to do on the field.
Yep.
Whatever,
They execute well. Jet Bush, honestly, he may be my favorite player on that team just because of his energy, and he plays hard.
Yeah.
Linebacker. That interception was just fitting. It bounced off a foot of a teammate. I think it was a teammate.
No, it was the receiver.
Off the Red Raider receiver, and there's Jed Bush. And he just other way, pick six. And the team's reaction to it was what really resonated or meant something to me. I mean, they were there waiting for him on the sidelines.
Yeah. No, that was fun to watch, man. And good heads up play because it looked like it bounced off the turf. And other people on the field thought it bounced off the turf. And so he juggled it too. Showed his hands. He juggled it and then secured it and ran it in for a touchdown. So that was awesome. It was good to watch. It was fun to watch. So
he does the McGregor didn't walk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Dude, this team has a lot of character and a lot of it. It's not being biased. It's just appreciating greatness and good brotherhood and camaraderie. Yeah. But here's something that you and I and a lot of people have been talking about. Because up until this game, Texas, because their corners play off, for the most part, off of the receivers. And they're basically saying, we'll give you the slant route. And those teams caught on. And they gladly took the slant route. And that's one of Tech's strengths. They took it away, Stevie. They manned up on them. And Cedric Griffin, you played with him.
Yeah.
He's one of the best defensive backs to play at Texas. He tweeted about it and said that he noticed immediately they made that adjustment. And they were all in those receivers' faces off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So I guess Shark and PK, they listen to our podcast.
Yeah, clearly.
And we told them exactly what they should be doing, and they did it. Getting up on the line, pressing these guys and throwing them off their timing, they didn't know what to do. So hats off to them, and hopefully we figured all that stuff out for the last few games that we have on the schedule because that's that giving them that cushion is still on film.
Yes.
So we still got to throw some different coverages at them and play and let these guys play physical like they want to play.
Well, if you look at it, Texas Tech's passing game. Listen, I don't think people have really paid attention to this. They completed 19 of 36 passes. That's a little above 50% for 88 yards, and Texas picked off 3 passes. 88 yards passing, and that's to 110 yards rushing.
Wow. Yeah, that's good defense right there. That's good sound defense. Playing your assignments, doing your job, and playing together as a team.
That is.
That's good. So
we got to see Arch Manning, and he looked good. I love the energy in the crowd, but apparently that wasn't supposed to happen because according to Anwar Richardson, he tweeted about it. Apparently Malik couldn't go in because he had an injury on the sideline, and from what I understand, I don't know exactly how it happened, but he hurt him. He was injured on the sideline. He was watching the play but wasn't paying attention. Something like that, got hit maybe. But, in the end, it all works out how it's supposed to. And I think Anwar Richardson tweeted that if Malik isn't feeling good to go for this next week, that Arch will be the number 2 quarterback this week.
Do we know what kind of injury it was to Malik?
Well, here's the thing about it. I thought it was a shoulder. I really did. And by the way, UT's rush defense, and we'll get to that. I'm just blown away by that, their rush defense and where they're ranked.
That's unfortunate, but to see Manning get out there and being able to still keep his red shirt, I think that's pretty cool to see him out there. I think the crowd, was having a good fun night, and then just to see him out there even have more fun, and then and also. For us to toy with Texas Tech all over again is to put our red shirt freshman quarterback in and still he did okay, against them, so
he was telling the crowd to be quiet. He couldn't hear. It's like,
yeah. So he, I don't know, man, it's unfortunate for Malik. and hopefully he's okay. But getting some game time experience out there for Manning. We got a Manning kid at the University of Texas, which is football royalty, you know, and the crowd got to see it, you know.
It's so, and you know, it's just everywhere you look with this team this year, there's a lot of depth, and we know Jonathan Brooks out for the season due to that ligament tear in his knee, but when you rush for 300 yards as a team, Texas rushed for 302 yards against Texas Tech. And C.J. Baxter was pulled. They thought he could go back in, but they didn't want to risk it. Injury, he had was dinged up. But Jaden Blue, good change of pace back.
Yeah,
really. I mean, Sark talks about that, about his ability to, and the running back depth in particular, what Blue gives them.
Has played really good the last 2 weeks, you know, and really 3 weeks, you know, when he had to get going there in TCU, but he had some critical runs at Iowa State, a 3rd and 2, the 4th and 1 at the end of the game. And the one thing we know about him is when he gets a crease, he can go.
Yeah.
I mean, Stevie, when you see Jaden, I mean, it's just like Keelan, all those running backs. I mean, but Jaden really hits the hole hard.
Yeah, hits the hole hard, and then he looked, and that's what I said. I said it in the stands. Yeah. He hits the hole really, really hard, and then if he looks up and he's still got daylight in front of him, then he takes off running jets. You know, so his number one goal is to get the 3 to 5 yards, and if he's still up on his feet, he turns them on. So I like the way he runs, pats forward.
Yeah,
you know, shoulders over his knees and forward, you know, falling forward. You know, we always said whenever, you know, we played with I played with Cedric Benson, and you know, and we had some big nasties on the O-line. You know, their philosophy was to get him 5 yards because he's going to fall for another 5
easily.
You know, he's going to fall forward for another 5. And that's a first down a pop. You know. And so, you know, it's I saw that in Baxter, or no, not Baxter, Blue, also. So, you know, and when you mention his name with somebody like Cedric Benson, man, we got a pretty good running back room.
Yeah, it's huge. And, you know, Texas Tech has a pretty good running back too. Taj Brooks, he's a Manor Mustang, baby. You know, it's funny. I covered when I was still in the media. I covered him. I think it was a junior, possibly.
Gotcha.
And they made a run at the state semifinals, and man, it's just been fun watching him grow. He's basically their offense, and he's just a good, humble kid. First time to play in Austin against the Longhorns. He was hurt, I believe, 2 years ago. But 95 yards against that Texas defense is a great day.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not bad for him at all. So hats off to the Central Texas kid, but I'm sorry you played for Texas Tech.
1,447 yards rushing. That's 3rd in the country. 3rd in the country.
That's good stuff.
Man, that is. So, man, hats off to Taj Brooks. He's also a Man Cave VIP alumni.
There you go.
He's made time to be a guest on here. But the one thing that I don't know how to make this transition because it's hard. The thing there were so many things that should have happened, could have happened, the upset potential that did not happen. Like I really thought Florida could knock off Florida State, but we did see Michigan. We knew somebody was going to move down from Michigan, Ohio State. But this is my Power 10. I guess I don't want to put your name on it. Let you be responsible.
Yeah, don't put my name on that, man.
Don't do it.
No, I'm joking. Go for it.
I get it. Washington got the win. I'm going to put Michigan above Georgia. I thought Michigan with the win over Ohio State affords them my opportunity for this week.
I won't argue with that. What I am going to argue with is this 4 and 5.
Okay.
So Oregon with 1 loss is ahead of the Seminoles?
I think Oregon has had a better win this week. That's how I feel. That's how I
Well,
feel.
Florida State's undefeated.
They are, but they just didn't look to me to be better than Oregon. Oregon beat a ranked team in Oregon State.
Okay.
Beat a ranked team.
Are you judging Florida State off the fact that they don't have a starting quarterback?
I mean, some people are doing that. I'm not.
Okay.
I mean, so Oregon beat the former 16th ranked team in the country by 24 points. Florida State beat in-state rival Florida by 9 points. Now, it was on the road, so that is impressive.
And it's a rivalry game.
So is Oregon State. Huge rivalry.
Okay, yeah. You're right. Okay.
Washington barely got by Washington State at home. That's a rivalry. The Apple Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to go march forward here to next week, and first of all, shout out to New Mexico State University. They're not on here. But if you recall, Steve, if you followed college football at all, New Mexico State was Kansas State, what Kansas State was before Bill Snyder started there. New Mexico State has historically been horrible.
Yeah.
So vast wasteland. Here in the last 10 years, not only have they made a couple of bowls, but this guy, Jerry Kill, who was the head coach at Minnesota before, man, they've won 10 games this year. 10, and they beat Auburn.
Yeah.
And they're playing undefeated Liberty in the Conference USA Championship. And we got Oregon and Washington in the Pac-12 Championship. So somebody's going to get knocked off there. Whoever loses that game, they're out.
Really? If Washington loses it, if they're out?
They got to be out. Georgia, Alabama.
Georgia, Alabama. If Georgia lose, are they still in?
I think so. But
will Alabama jump us if they beat Georgia?
Probably.
We still got the head-to-head, though, man. That counts.
It counts, but when you beat I get it. I get it. And don't underestimate everybody. Michigan, Ohio State's division, they always undervalue the Big 12 or Big 10 West. Dude, Iowa doesn't score a lot of points. Their defense is legit. Now, Michigan could blow them out. But look out for Louisville, Florida State.
Louisville, Florida State, yeah.
That's the ACC championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to this. Sark was asked, is Texas an CFP team? Is he going to lobby like Mac Brown did in 2004 after y'all beat A&M and try to get in the Rose Bowl for the BCS? This is what Sark said.
That's probably a better question next Saturday night. Hopefully we're kind of in the same mood, and I'll have maybe a better answer at that point.
Good
dodge. He slipped that one real quick.
Dodging and politically driven.
Yeah.
So this is what he's talking about, what's going to happen next Saturday night.
It's going to be fun.
We want to know you. I wanted to see a rematch. But everyone is saying that, all right, well, this is Oklahoma State. No, it's much easier.
Well, I wanted I guess we're going to talk about it, or maybe we already did. I wanted OSU because I knew that they had the number one running back in the game,
Ollie Gordon II.
Mm-hmm. And I also know that we have a very, very stout run defense, number 4 in the land. So
yes.
That's going to be a really good matchup for us. If OSU is out there trying to throw the ball a lot, they're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
So
that's hands down what's going to happen.
Yeah. So we're out there taking their run game away, getting them off the field without eating up too much clock, and putting the ball in Ura's hands. And Coach Shark has a script. That's our game all day.
Well, Coach Gundy's been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And I got to follow 6 of his teams when I was up there. And I was there for I'm a Man, I'm 40. And
were you in the room?
Yeah. So, like, if I'm Gundy, I'm 4 rows to the right of him if I'm looking out.
That's funny, man.
I was shocked. We didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, what the hell, Bobby? What's going on here, man? They just had a big win against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But that really helped that program, Scott. But let's be honest, man. Mike Gundy has made Oklahoma State relevant and consistent.
Yeah, he did. That was a good hire. He was after Les Miles, right?
Yes, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was right after Les Miles. And, and we had a Les Miles number when I was at the University of Texas.
So it's Les Miles and I think Bob Simmons or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then
all right.
He took over. But if you recall, early in the year, they had some quarterback controversy. They didn't know who it was going to be, including his son. And they had 3 quarterbacks play against South Alabama, who's not a bad mid-major team, at Major Applewhite's the OC. Mm-hmm. Gundy, one of his sons, Alan Bowman, the transfer from Texas Tech, and Garrett Rangel all played in that game. And Oklahoma State got beat by South Alabama in Stillwater 33-7. Well, he was asked by Barry Trammell, veteran journalist there in Oklahoma, about what the odds were. What did he think that was possible? That at that point, did he think that this would happen? 9-3 team playing for the Big 12 championship. And this is what Gundy had to say.
And it's amazing what a group of young men and a team can accomplish if they're willing to ignore the outside circumstances, go to work and grind. Just put your head down and grind. Don't worry about anything else. And listen to your coaches, because we got the best information for you. And if you're willing to do that, there's no telling what a group of young men can accomplish. And I think this is about as good an example as ever. What odds would you have given us?
I'm not into betting, but I wouldn't have bet $1.
We're not even betting money. Just give me an odd. What odds would you?
1,000 to 1.
Thank you. I would have given you 5,000 to 1 at that point.
Wow. Yeah.
So, okay. Gundy has an aura of arrogance on him that I just don't like, man. He's funny up there sometimes, but it's just I can't get with him, man. It's just the aura of arrogance.
I get it. No, yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'd have given him 5,000 to 1. Now we're here. We've done great. Our coaches know the best information for you. Just shut up and listen to your coaches. That's the arrogance that I get out of him. So
listen to us. Buy in if you want to buy in.
Yeah.
I mean, we all thought that there were so many games this past week that could be upsets. And I've said the Iron Bowl, hands down, would be one of them. And it took a rally. And Auburn had them.
They had them.
Then this happened.
But there's a lot of airspace to cover for Milroe. Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught! Touchdown, Alabama! Isaiah Bond on a 4th and a mile.
That looked like a 47-yard throw. on the money, like right in the back of the end zone where his receiver can only get it. That was a big time throw. And for a coach to bench him after they played the University of Texas, you can tell that they didn't know what they were doing. We had to have them rattled by beating them at home. They should never bench that kid. He played well against us. And Milroe, he's the guy. He's him with that throw. He stood back there. Now, the defense that Auburn called was terrible. You only rush 2 people, so he can stand back there. They rushed 3.
Well, it should have been 3.
Yeah, at least 3. I'd have rushed. I just kept rushing 4 because when he's running trying to get away from people, he's not surveying the field like that. Get him on the ground, and then he had the tendency to run, so he would have just taken off running anyway. I would have rushed 4 people, stayed in his face. But they try to drop everybody back in the coverage, and it did not work. That never works. Prevent defense prevents you from winning.
No, it doesn't. And the fact that, that was 4th and 31. 31.
The what? 4th and 31?
I think it was 4th and 31.
Yeah, and he hit him in the back of the end zone, and he had a 7-yard drop.
I mean, that's
that arm strength across the field. In the back of the end zone in the corner. That had to be nearly a 50-yard throw on the dime.
It was unreal. And for that to happen on the road, I mean, it was the Iron Bowl. I get it. Now, these rivalry games, man.
It's fun. I mean, it's so much fun.
And even fun. Georgia, man, they were in a rivalry game with Georgia Tech, non-conference game, be it.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech scored 10 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. It was 31-13. Dude, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I really feel like it. I mean, Georgia's good. Georgia's effing good. But they're not the same. There's something missing there. Like, I'm not saying complacency. They are physical. But, man, I think Alabama gets them this weekend.
Oh, does that hurt or help the University of Texas?
It's got to help because they're coming together. It's just what do you do with Georgia? Because if they keep Georgia, that's 3 spots if you're going to allow Texas to come in with Alabama.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Georgia, yeah, they had some stumbles against in this game, but I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I think that Georgia is Georgia. And they are.
I mean, they're good, man. They're great.
Yeah,
they're great,
and they're still rolling off of last year. Heavy as the head that wears the crown, So
I get it, man.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, I think
to be the champs, you got to beat the champ, right?
You got to beat them, man.
Yeah.
But I think, dude, there is a chip on this Alabama team's shoulder, and Auburn brought it in the rivalry game,
and. Also, we're dealing with 19 to 21-year-old kids. That was an emotional game for Alabama this past week. So their emotions are high and maybe not going to be controlled by everybody. So, a big win can also beat you the next week.
There's no doubt. And but this is a big week, and it's going to be a lot of fun at these conference championship games, man. And it's the thing that gets me is even this Texas-Oklahoma State game. What happens if Texas, even though OSU is ranked 20th in the country, what happens if Texas just destroys them? What happens? Nothing?
I think things have to happen in front of us for anything to happen. I can see Florida State going down to Louisville, and we jump Florida State, right? I can see Oregon. Oregon is playing Washington again, right?
Yeah.
And we jump Oregon, right? But that still only puts us as 2.
I'm sorry. If Oregon can beat Washington.
They can, but if they don't, we jump them, right?
If they beat Washington, no.
No, if Oregon loses to Washington again.
Alabama may jump us if they win.
Alabama can't jump us. We got the head-to-head.
It won't matter if they beat Georgia. It won't matter.
Yes, it will. It will matter because the committee talked about head-to-heads. They
I'm
put a
all
lot of
for
weight.
it.
Huh?
I'm all for it.
Yeah, they put this college football committee, they put a lot of weight on head-to-heads. Right? And so if they beat Georgia, we still got that head-to-head.
I don't trust that committee. I don't.
I understand. I get it. I understand all that. But what we got to do is just keep winning, and we got to win convincingly.
And I guarantee that's what's being said in that locker room. They know it. Those kids know it. So humor me. This is a find by the first lady of the man cave, our honorary first lady, Tess Sawyer. This was pretty funny. This is why I don't buy school supplies from the Dollar Tree. Dog wiener.
That is their color.
Very pink and prominent.
Yeah. That is their color. Yeah. Yeah.
Dog wiener.
Oh, goodness.
Shout out to Sawyer.
The first lady of the man cave.
She has good finds.
Yeah, man.
She's very
I don't
cautious.
want to see what her Twitter or Instagram. What her Instagram algorithm is.
What a Google! I can imagine. We got to see.
Yeah.
We need to confiscate records of Tess Sawyer's Google search engine. Hey, you mentioned it, and Bert Auburn. He's made Texas. You know, Texas kicking history is pretty deep.
Yeah,
very deep.
Started
Over
with
the weekend, Phil Dawson, Russell Ertzgleben. You look at them, Hunter Lawrence, Justin Tucker. Well,
Dicker the kicker.
Bert Auburn set 2 Texas records over the weekend.
What?
Yep. 15th consecutive field goal as well as his 25th field goal of this season.
Really?
15 consecutive field goals.
All those times that Coach Shark has gone forward on 4th down.
Yep.
In the red zone, he still has.
He's now above Phil Dawson and Anthony Farah.
It's good stuff, man. That's great stuff.
And
good for that kid.
Yep. And this is our boy. This is our UT kicking record holder representing Hargrove Roofing. If you follow Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast or watch all of our episodes, you would know that our friends at Hargrove Roofing are proud supporters of Stories Inside the Man Cave. Well, they're also proud supporters of University of Texas Longhorn Athletics. So much so that they are now NIL partners. Bert Auburn has a strong leg. He has a great head of hair, and he will now partner with Coach at the Hargrove Roofing office off of Ashdale. You will soon hear Auburn say that famous slogan, Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof. In the meantime, if you need an estimate, call 512-645-3202 or visit the website, hargroveroofing.com. Thanksgiving for people like me and for you because you just love Texas teams but you grew up closer to the Cowboys and New Orleans Saints were not far from you, but man, what a great Thanksgiving, man. The Cowboys absolutely destroyed the team formerly known as the Redskins in Washington, the rivals, and then got to eat some turkey legs and they jumped it. Kevontae Turpin jumped into that Salvation Army kettle. That was planned, quite obviously, with the turkey legs. Oh, I bet those things smelled ripe with the smoke.
That was fun to watch, man. It was good that those guys got to have a little fun out there. Did they throw a flag on that? Those are props, right?
Those are props.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use props for celebration, no?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember if they did, but I will say they got to have a little reprieve or remorse for hey, it's for charity.
Yeah, it's charity. Yeah. No, it was fun, man. I didn't grow up a Cowboys fan, but moving to Texas and living in Texas, I'm not a fan of anybody, but I want the Texans to do well. I want the Cowboys to do well, and then I always want the Saints to do well. So, those are my three teams, I guess. But I'm glad that they had a good time. Dak was on. Pollard was on too, man. He played really well. Yeah.
Hey,
so
Dolly Parton was on too.
Dolly Parton was on as well, man. Hey, listen, Dolly still got it at 77 years old, dude.
Well, she was rocking that. Well, that Dallas Cowboy cheerleading outfit almost fell off on the backside. Hey, 77's a new 37.
No question, man.
You look good.
It does. She did. She said once before it costs a lot of money to look this trashy. She did not look trashy though, man. That was her own words. She did not look trashy. She looked great, man.
She just that sarcasm. That's her.
Yeah,
that is her. Shout out Dolly Parton and shout out to the Dallas Cowboys, man. Great job. Great Thanksgiving for all of us.
Yeah,
I'd love another plate of dressing. And I did eat some potato. I brought a sweet potato pie to the party, by the way.
Did you really? Good.
I should. This is the time of year when college coaches start making moves.
Yeah,
Dana Holgorsen out. U of H let him go. OU's offensive coordinator Art Briles' son-in-law Jeff Lebby is leaving OU as their offensive coordinator to become the head coach at Mississippi State University. So that's a good opportunity for him. And I've got the feeling that, I don't know, I thought he has a prolific offense, but, since Coach Leach passed away, it was really hard for whoever was filling in to win at Mississippi State. But good him. And then Mike Elko, the former defensive coordinator at A&M, has done a really good job at Duke. He's rumored to be hired here in the next 24 hours at Texas A&M.
Okay. I guess A&M is trying to pull a move that we did with Coach Brown, getting a name that's on the way up and grooming him for 13 years to win a championship. So, Duke has a good program, but can this coach compete in the SEC,
So Oklahoma, they've had an up and down year, finished 10-2 on the year. Great. Just typical OU type of year. Good rebound from last year.
Yeah.
Great rebound. But, man, on the TikTok and in the man cave, wow, man, they're tripping. And, you've seen these happen before and wonder how it doesn't happen more often. I thought for a second, when we see these little Pop Warner teams and even some high schools, you can get a little too smoky and you can't see. And you may step on your teammate's foot and trip. Well, this happened to some grown-ass guys at a Power 5 program like Oklahoma. Look closely at that smoke as OU's coming out of their tunnel.
Piled up. And I saw the press conference. If you guys don't see who's under that pile, it's the head coach. I saw his press conference and he said he thought he was going to die. He said he felt one person on top of him, then another person, and then another person, and his face go into the ground. He said, "This is it." He thought, and they're stacked like 5 high with guys that are 250 plus on top of him, man. I can't imagine how he felt underneath that pile. But dude, stay on your feet, man.
Stay on your feet, guys. Man, dang, Coach Venables, you got to take care of Coach V.
Yeah, man.
Let's see if we can find that. Let's see if we can find that real quick.
Here it is.
Because I've always thought, I literally thought in the moment, this is how people die in those things. Because I've always thought, like, how can you not just get up? Like, you hear people, and again, I'm not making light in any way, but, you know, people that go to these concerts or whatever, and something happens, and, and people are trampled to death. That's a real thing. It's horrific. And I didn't think I was going to die. But it was a very real thing. My face kept getting shoved further and further in the ground, and you could feel one person after another. I said, this is going to keep happening. And it was just like, I don't know. This is kind of what I envisioned. And I just kept getting shoved further and further in the ground. I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. This is really happening right now. That's what I thought. And I was pissed. Not at anybody, just pissed.
You got to be pissed with yourself. You the one that went on the ground, man. You got to stay on your feet, sir.
Look, come on, Coach. You work out all the time.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God. Wow.
I'm sending that to you.
Oh, my God. Dude, that's pretty bad. That could have ended up a lot worse.
A lot worse.
Man. Which leads us to this.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Stevie Lee, we didn't face plant. We ate a lot of good food. I got to say, I went to outside of Houston to see my sister, and her in-laws invited me to Thanksgiving. You got to spend a great week with your family and your family with your parents and beautiful Northwest Louisiana. Tell me something good that kind of and just wraps up the week. I thought was a beautiful week.
It was a great week, man. What's really good? Let's get it back to football. The University of Texas has a chance to win the Big 12 championship, grab the trophy from this commissioner, and walk off into the sunset. See you later, sir. Sayonara. Good luck with your new Big 12, So that's something good, man. We're in the Big 12 championship game. We have a chance to just take it all and then see what the future holds after that. I'm going to be watching. It's 11 o'clock kickoff, I believe. And hopefully, man, these kids just come out and the coaches got a great game plan and just kick butt, man, and just walk out like we've been there before, So this is going to be fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy the lead up to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's something good for me this week, man. Just enjoy.
That's a great thing. I'll be there. Since you won't be there, I'll take your spot.
Yeah,
I'll try to fill both spots if I can. Yeah, I had
in Jerry World, man. We're gonna turn in Arlington, burn orange.
We're gonna turn it up, baby. We're gonna get there Friday. The 11 a.m. That's well. But you know what? It'll make.
I'm sorry. Did I not tell you something good? I felt like when I said that you kind of went down.
I just wanted to make sure. I was hoping it would be 11:30. That means we got to get up at 7:30, get out by 8:15, get coffee, breakfast, and be at the stadium park by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Because those morning games, you got to get going because you will move slow.
Yep, absolutely you will.
Man.
So don't have too many on Friday night. So
no. That's funny, man. We're trying to make dinner plans, and God, we may have to keep it very subdued, if you will.
Yeah.
God. Man, I can't wait, Stevie Lee. This is the championship football, and man, the conference championship weekends are really fun because, if you really think about it, conference championships and college football, I mean, you look at this whole weekend, we've got Texas, you got SMU also from Texas playing for a conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's great. And just think, the CFP announcement And I cannot remember if it's on Sunday or not.
It usually is on Sunday.
So there's going to be a lot of tension, and there's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
Explaining to do.
But hey, they don't have it's a thankless job, the CFP committee, because that's going to be tough. This is a very rare year.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams. Good teams. Hey, for Stevie, the pride of Shreveport, and Hargrove Roofing, the entire Hargrove family, and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Harbaugh Hards, Big Mike, and Coach Mo, and to Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12. Adios. Hate to see you go by. What did we tell him, Stevie?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.
I said get out.